You just mentioned something about the courage challenge, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody. And I was too shy to talk to anybody. And I've just started off with Evan's group. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. And then you just gave it, hey, does anybody want to talk? And I'm like, I did 2 seconds. At least I said that I've collabed with somebody to talk about courage, which is feeling like just getting on here talking with you feels like, yep, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, basically, the courage is, getting it done. And the first time is
Exactly.
the hardest one.
Yeah. Yeah. I think getting when I'm kind of slow to warm up to people, like I have to learn about them first before I feel like interacting. And then, but
Hmm.
I've seen you around a lot. So I'm like
Yeah.
on the pages. So I'm like, okay, I know you a little bit. I'm okay saying hi. So I'm really glad we
Yeah.
can connect. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some responses of you. So I remember, and usually I'm the one who says to people like, "Oh, you want to go live? Just hit me up." And
Yeah.
you know, um, I'm so used to coaching people that I figured out some time ago that for me doing these lives is like interviewing people.
Yeah. Right?
And
Yeah.
there's not much difference whether I'm in a store and I'm selling something, or I'm coaching, or I'm talking to you right now
Right.
and
Awesome.
doing
What a
it.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good way of looking at it.
So when we talk about courage, what is the first word that you would connect with courage, or what for you does courage mean?
I think it's really just I don't know how I can define it. The first brave, but they kind of feel like the same thing, courage and brave. I think it's like going beyond where you think you can do something, you
Oh, that's a
know?
nice one. Going beyond what you can think you can do. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Most people come with vulnerable, being open and honest, but be doing something beyond what you think you're capable of. Yeah, that's a good one.
Vulnerable though is also a good one. I guess that's another piece of it, right? Is like when you're, yeah. Sometimes the courage isn't like that. Like I think of stories in my life where times where people on the outside would think that it was courageous, but it was like the circumstances just created that situation for me to do whatever it was. It didn't feel, you know,
So you have
like,
something
oh,
in mind right now?
um, well, like when you have those extreme cases, like there's some, when there's a child, something happens to your child and you need to like take action right away,
Hmm.
right? You don't think, oh, that's really courageous of me to do that thing. You just think of this has to be done. And later you might go, wow, that was took a lot of courage to do that thing where,
Yeah, that's
um,
true.
yeah.
That's when we do stuff for other people. That's when we find out when how courageous we can be actually.
Kind of feels like a little bit of a cheat though, doesn't it? It's like, oh, well, I can do something for somebody else, but
Yeah.
for myself, it might feel, like if you said, oh, I really need to do this live, and if I don't do it, I'm not going to be able to get my, meet my challenge goals. Therefore, could you please? I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll do it because you need it versus like me needing it. It would be much easier to do that thing for somebody else, right?
Yeah, but isn't that the way it usually is? We're more
Yes,
inclined to do stuff for other people than we
yeah,
are to do it for ourselves.
it's true. Yeah,
And the same applies for the hard stuff. So there are things I would do for other people rather easily, and when it comes to doing it for myself, I'm like, really,
yeah, yeah, right. Like you can make all kinds of reasons why just not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
So
do
so
it
yeah, it does
later.
make sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. So, but
yeah.
I never combined the two. Like, okay, because we are more inclined to do things for other people, including the hard stuff. That's when we step up when it comes to courage. But then again, that's why we say we step up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I guess it does make sense.
yeah. Well, when you think of like, when you think of soldiers, you think, they're being really courageous and, like when they're going to, they give like those. I'm not sure. I don't follow military stuff, but I've seen enough movies to hear about Purple Hearts.
Hmm.
Even if, like, oh, you're so brave and you had so much courage to do that. And usually it's in service of somebody else,
Yes.
right? It's actually always in service of somebody else. That's how you get that courageous kind of.
Yeah, when you've done something really out of the ordinary, and when you're considered a hero, of course, then you get the Purple Heart. But I would say,
Yeah.
if I just take a look at the people in the Ukraine right now, there are a lot of people who've never been a soldier, who've never been, uh, let alone, fought in a war, and right
Yeah.
now they are making sure that their women and children are safe, and they
Yeah.
go back to fight for the country.
Yeah. And
So
yeah,
talk
that's it,
about
right?
courage.
Going above and beyond what you think you're capable of.
Yes,
There it is, right? Because
yeah.
you don't think that
Going
in
above and beyond what you're capable of. Yes, that's. I'm going to use that for the real. Going above and beyond what we're capable of.
me too. And yeah, go on courage.
That's
Yes.
cool. I've got something with the tech stuff now. I'm thinking about it. Well, it's not that important.
Say it. What is it?
Oh, well, I'm using those things in my ear from Soundcore. I actually have one in, and the other one is still in the case.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm doing my StreamYard live, I use my iPad, and then I don't put them in. But when I'm using my phone, I always use one earpiece.
Hmm.
So I tried it with the Aftershocks Aeroplex recently. So those are bone conductors.
Oh
But I've
yeah.
I've noticed that either I'm too enthusiastic, but it's the sound is distorted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I think I'm not sure who the first person I saw those. Oh, somebody I saw just last week post about those ones where they kind of the second the but one that conducts through your bone.
Hmm.
So I'm really curious about those now.
Well, I can probably show you. Hang on. Yeah, I had something in mind about background and all that stuff. I forgot about that too. So those are the Aeroplex. So this is where the ears are.
Uh-huh.
So it should be like this. So you
So you just
don't
put them
actually
behind your
feel.
ears.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah. And so I've been told that they pick up the sound not in front of your ear, but behind your ear. So that would be this part.
Right.
So, and it
So are they
also
mostly
sticks out.
designed for, okay, are they mostly designed for like music versus voice?
Well, there's a microphone in there, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for music um,
Hmm.
because the bass can be a lot better than it is on there. But it's great when you go outside and you're on your bike or you're in the car because you can still hear everything which is surrounding you.
Right. Yeah.
And
I
and
have a
what I
pair of
also
headphones. I can hear stuff all the time anyhow. I mean, you can't,
okay,
they're not noise canceling headsets. It works fine.
yeah. I've got a oh my God, I don't know what the word is in eardrum. That's it. My left eardrum is a little bit it's a little well the sound of it is a little bit distorted because I worked at a call center for over a year and I had
Mm.
my earpiece on there. So it's actually kind of nice to not have something in my ear,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
more
yeah,
alongside my ears.
yeah,
But
for sure.
to tell you a little secret, I do put them on when I'm playing drums. So normally I've got electronic drums. So I've got these tiny little speakers which are up high, and then I've got this big monitor which is like a subwoofer which is on at the bottom. Um, And I used to use my stereo with the CD player in there, but it was like 2 decades old. And then after a while, it said, you know what? Goodbye. After 2.5 decades, I'm going to give in. So I can't do CD player anymore, which was actually going using those same speakers and the same subwoofer. So I like to drum along with music. So now I'm putting these on. So these are related to my phone with the music.
Nice.
So like I said, the bass is horrible.
Or
So
was it?
I
Oh,
so then I need to really to turn up the volume. But I actually use them, and I still have my earplugs in because of the
wow.
sound of the drum itself.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a nice combination. So
That's
and
awesome.
it allows me to actually hear the sound of the drum kit really well.
Beautiful.
So
Oh, you drum. That's amazing. That's amazing. Have you
yeah,
been
you
a
can
drummer a
drum.
long time?
I think I started playing drums in '94 or something, and then I stopped for
Wow.
7 years because of my ankle.
You stopped drumming because of your ankle?
Yeah,
With the
drumming is not
pedal.
just with your hands; it's also
Yeah,
with
with the
both your
pedal.
feet,
Yeah, yeah.
and you have to be able to open the hi-hat. But moreover,
All right.
more importantly, you have to have stability because if you go like this and that, you need to be able to put
Right.
weight on your feet. And I did
Right.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
So I
wow.
still
And
have
so,
some problems when I open and close the hi-hat a lot of times. That might hurt my ankle still a little bit. So they
hmm.
over 3 years ago they put the screws in there. Um, and due to
Do you think that
circumstance, yeah, what?
is there not like some accommodation that can be made for a hi-hat? So, I mean, unless there are other people who haven't been able to use their feet, is there no accommodation that
Oh
can be
yeah, of
made?
course. If you look at Rick Allen from Def Leppard, he um, he lost his arm, so they entirely rerouted the drums. So there's probably a lot that can be done. But yeah, it's and like I said, also due to other circumstances, I couldn't play drums even when I wanted to.
Okay.
So I'm doing it again now, like at least every other 2 weeks, and that's nice. It's
That's
nice.
amazing. That's so good. I have a little drum,
Mm-hmm.
like a djembe, a smaller
Yeah.
size djembe. And I was doing a class the other day, and it's been like I live in an apartment, and so I worry about sound from other people, especially during the pandemic when everybody was home.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been like, I don't know how to play very well, so it's like, okay, shh.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good for your technique. I understand
Yeah,
it, but
right?
it's not good for your technique. But there are these foam tiles. They're probably something called like audio something tiles. So they're made of foam, and you can stick them to the wall.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And you don't
That
have
wouldn't
to
work.
have them across the entire wall, but if you have good
Yeah.
ones, then it would absorb the sound.
I live in a house, but on the bottom floor.
Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody's talking in any room in the house, you can hear it on the other side of the house.
Oh, yeah. You've got a wooden house, or no?
It's wood, yeah, but it's like made in the 1970s when they didn't have very good insulation
Yeah.
in soundproofing these houses. Like they just didn't, they were supposed to be single family homes, not for
Mm-hmm.
two families to live in. So they didn't soundproof them. So there was no design for that, and you can tell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
So
what you mean. I
so I
know
wait
what
for
you
people
mean.
to leave and then I can drum. So the other day I was like, nobody's home. I can finally drum. Yes,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that was
yeah,
fun.
exactly.
So
I know what you mean.
I'm just really happy to hear that you do it with electronic or however you do it.
Mm.
If you have other kind of drums too, this is very exciting to hear. Very exciting.
Yeah, I've got a cajon too. So And so I sometimes play that one. But it's the same story, was putting weight on my ankle. So I probably could put some weight on my ankle again because I can walk on 2 feet again instead of 1 foot and a few toes.
Yeah,
Um, and I don't have to put my foot up all the time anymore. So
that's fantastic.
yeah, yeah,
Look how
that's
far you've come.
oh, every day I'm grateful. Every day I walk somewhere and I'm like, oh, I haven't walked in here without my crutches, and now I do. Like
Yeah,
today, actually, I was thinking that same thing. You know,
beautiful.
uh, I went somewhere and I was like, oh, cool. I don't remember having been here without my crutches.
Right.
So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Oh,
that's really amazing. It's like
yeah.
every day, it's like. And I
That's so
still
good.
remember her, saying that she couldn't promise me that it would, um, that everything would be okay again because I had been
Yeah.
walking with crutches for such a long time. But at least she was willing to try. She was willing
Yeah.
to try as opposed to the other surgeons. They weren't willing to try. So,
Right. So good.
so getting back to courage, um, and
Let's
I'm
talk.
going to
This
give
your
an
foot is
example on
about
my
courage.
account.
Yeah.
For me, courage was um, going up and down the escalator without crutches.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
That's
going to talk
amazing.
about with crutches because that was way worse. And I think I did it once or twice, and then I was like, no, I'm using an elevator now, or I'm just going up and down the stairs,
Yeah.
but not an escalator. So
Right.
I suppose
Scary because yeah.
yeah. So I suppose the courage for you would be the playing the djembe.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. That's courage for me is showing up in my life and getting out there. That's courage.
Oh,
I'm gonna
you're
have to keep
here.
that one. Yeah, exactly. That's getting out into the world. That feels like courage. Yeah.
Oh, then I have a nice challenge for you. Getting
Okay.
out there with your djembe
I'm still a really beginner.
and then
Really,
doing it
really.
on Twitch.
Yeah, no. I'm just, no, not yet. Yeah, one day I will. And it's not because of courage, it's because I'm feeling confident that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well,
And I
I
don't.
understand that when it comes to Twitch, people can actually just, exercise
Yeah,
and learning to play a musical instrument, and people actually love it.
yeah. Yeah, people do. So maybe a drum circle online. There we
Yeah,
go.
there
Yeah.
you go.
We could do a drum circle on Instagram or Zoom. Oh, it probably would sound terrible.
Would be distorted, and I
It
don't
would
know if
very
there would be
distorted.
delay.
Yeah. Yeah, it
If
would
there
be
would be delay, it
crazy.
would be horrible. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that, like all those musicians who played at the same time, live, uh, online. I was
How did they
like,
do that?
yeah, was there no delay?
I think they
That,
didn't play live. I think that there was
yeah,
like
no, some of them did,
was
I
there
think.
live?
Yeah,
I wonder like different musicians and different maybe they just had it. I don't know. I have seen that, but they were kind of like show different things. So yeah, I'm not sure. That would be a good tech question because there's a
yeah.
technology and they probably had a lot of technology.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, didn't they do it at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah, probably had a
So,
lot of technology. Um,
so some final words about courage. Normally I talk way longer, but since I really need to get some sleep, what would be your final words about courage?
my final words about courage are to just um, trust yourself. Trust that you can do the things. Either way,
Oh, that's
whether you're
nice.
needing to be vulnerable, whether you're needing to, I think courage and trust go hand in hand, right?
Yeah. Well,
So,
I'll add to it. It's about doing it one step at a time, and
yeah,
you'll be surprised at what you can do.
yes, yeah, Yeah,
And of
exactly.
course,
Beautifully
with
said.
courage comes confidence,
Yeah.
but it all starts with commitment.
All those C's, such good alliteration.
It's always nice to do that. So,
Yes. Thank you so much for connecting and inviting me on, or anybody on. I really appreciate that. And I wish you a
uh,
very good sleep, a very good
thank you.
resty rest. And I will speak to you later.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much.
you're so welcome. I'll speak to you for me later tonight, for you tomorrow
Yes. Yes.
at the Insider Readers Group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll speak to you later. Bye.
Bye.